Hey guys, Third here with another episode of Boffer Basics, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do the strapping on a Coreless shield. In this case I've got a 26-inch round that I've already prepped for it, so I've cut my holes for where I want my strapping to go. Where you place your strapping is completely dependent on your preference, how long your forearm is, how big your forearms are, the size of the person using it, and if you want it center or low strap. But that's a topic for another video. In this case I've got this shield set up for center strapping, and I've already cut the slits where my strapping is going to go. Now you've noticed I've got this layer of cloth kind of laminated down to the back of the shield, and this is going to help reinforce the sides on either side of where my strapping is going to come through so that it doesn't get all degraded. And if you want to see how to do that and you're interested in laminating cloth essentially, you can check out this video here. Now I will apologize for kind of the weird angle of the video. I'm using my phone to capture video right now because it's better resolution than my actual camera, but the angle and zoom of the lens are not very well adjustable. So that's what we've got to work with. So for what you're going to need for this project: a shield that you want to put strapping on, some straps. In this case I've made some 30-inch long straps, and again, the thickness of your shield, the spacing of your strapping, how big your arm is going to depend how big or dictate how big you need these to be. And then for securing my straps, I've got some Velcro. I'm using some industrial strength Velcro that I got from Lowe's. I did make the mistake of getting the kind with glue backing, so I couldn't find any actually. I didn't have the glue backing at Lowe's. Hobby stores might do you a little bit better, but my sewing machine just had a real hard time with this, and non-industrial strength sewing machines might have some difficulty, and it might throw your timing off, break needles, or just get your needles stuck, burn out your motor. So I wouldn't recommend, if you don't have a good machine, trying to sew through the stuff with the glue backing. Try and find some that doesn't have it if you go the route of Velcro. So you'll also need a couple of securing pieces. In this case I'm going to be using D-links. You can get these for about $1.50 each at the hardware store, or you can use plastic versions of these that just don't have the nut there. Just a plastic closed loop, kind of like you'd find on nylon belts like work belts or tool belts, or even on dog collars. You can get them for about $1 each at the hardware store. I picked mine up at True Value on the shield, the shoulder shield I did, so you can see that there. So you need 2 of those, and then for heavy duty zip ties. Alright. So first thing you'll do is actually sew your straps, depending on what you're using. I made some cloth tubes here because I find the cloth a lot more comfortable on my arm. Nylon webbing really starts to rub on you after a day of hard fighting. So I just sewed a couple of tubes, and they came out to be about 2 to 2¼ inches wide. And then I put my Velcro pieces on the same face, the opposite end of my securing piece. Now once I've got this slid on here, which I already do, you want to tighten that nut down real well and make sure that it is facing inward. And then take something such as a good ruler and push your strapping through to the face of your shield. There we go. And when you do this, you want to make sure that you pull this through good and tight. Pull this nut piece down into the foam on the back of your shield. It doesn't need to be exposed at all, and it's not going to be a danger there. It's not going to get in the way. Some people get bent out of shape, a little worried about having these metal pieces on the back, but they're no more dangerous than having bolts on the back of your shield. So get that secured in there nice and snug, and then send your strap back through. Once I find my hole. There we are. Alright, and that's our first strap set through, and you can kind of see now how the strapping system is going to work. So let's go ahead and get our other one all sent through before we move on to the next step. Alright, so I've got both of my straps all set, and our next step is going to be to secure the fasteners here. You don't want these getting slid around and tugged about and beaten on the foam on either side of them during combat, so for that we're going to use our extra strength zip ties. These are a little bit meaty, but little overkill isn't going to hurt. So you're going to take and put them through the insides of your D-links or whatever securing pieces you're using, and they'll come out the back where your strapping is coming out. Just like so. And you'll pull a good bit of that through. And you'll notice that I've got the securing part, so the flat part's going to the back of the shield, the tail is going to come out towards us. So making sure that we're still inside our D-link, you want to go out at about a 45-degree angle, about 4 inches from the piece that you're securing. So you'll give that a tug, and make sure that you don't get this flip turned around, and shove it through 45-degree angle out. And once it comes through the face, just take a razor, and if you've got cloth on the back or if it's having trouble punching through, clear way for it to come out. And if you're having trouble grabbing hold of slick plastic and 80-degree heat with sweaty hands, just grab a pair of pliers. Alright, so we're at about an 80-degree angle here, and we're going to go ahead and secure this down. Now you don't want to crank super hard here. Just keep rotating it and pulling down on it until it's held firmly in place. If you go too hard here, you're just going to start pinching this really hard on the back, and you're going to degrade your foam. Now, you might notice that, oh no, there's a piece of plastic here on the back. This is smooth, it flexes with the foam, it's not hard at all. This is no more a danger to anyone striking this face than the cloth straps right here. So, once you've got that firmly secured, but not crazy cranked down, you'll just take a pair of side cutters or some snips and clean up the end here. Now if you're doing a dagger here, some weapons checkers are a little particular about what kind of hard things you have on the back of your shields, and I had one at an event make me cover these up with tape. It seems a bit silly, but it's something to look out for. The MOA does state that any dangerous protrusion has to be covered in foam. I taped down a little foam over these. They're not dangerous protrusions. Some people may see them as so. So let's go ahead and do the other 3 zip ties on these other pieces. Okay, I've gone ahead and done my my other 3 pieces here. Now, one little tip that I should mention, because I had a little trouble with this myself, is if you don't know exactly where on the back you need to push your zip ties through, take a pair of scissors or something similarly thin and sharp and decide where you want your straps to come out, and just poke the scissors through to the end, and then use them as a guide to shove the end of your zip tie along, and it'll come out just about perfect. So that is it. That's how you do the strapping on a Coreless shield. Simple as that. So you've got your strapping all the way through and secured so that these aren't going to be turning around and rubbing against your foam, and you've got a nice secure fitting on your arm. Now you will find that you'll have a bit more trouble dropping a shield that straps on like this rather than you slide your arm in, because it is suctioned tight to your body. However, you're going to find that you're going to have a much more responsive shield. It's going to move with every little movement you make. There is no play in the strapping on these. So that is how you do it. If you found this video useful or helpful in any way, please like and subscribe and share it around. And thanks again for watching. Have a good one.